Hello, I'm Duff Duffy, Commanding General of the Military Intelligence Readiness Command. And I'd like to speak with you today about suicide, an Army-wide problem that affects active component, reserve component soldiers, and their families. The Army started tracking suicides in the early 1980s, and it wasn't until 2008 that the rate of Army suicides exceeded that of the civilian population. A decade of war with its high operational tempo, repeated deployments to combat zones, and family separations, compounded by the financial and economic challenges of the day, have all contributed to the significant problem. And suicides aren't just by soldiers who've deployed. About 31% of Army suicides are by soldiers who have not deployed. Each and every suicide is a tragedy for the soldier, for their family, for their fellow soldiers left behind. We need to work together to solve this problem. I need you to reach out to your battle buddies, to understand their issues, show genuine care and concern, understand the signs, and get the soldiers to the help they need. And families, you are so important. Whereas we only see the soldiers perhaps a couple of days a month, you see your soldiers every day. Please make them aware of and get them to the help needed. And if you're having problems with that, contact the military chain of command to include me personally, and we'll get them to the assistance needed. And help is available. The Military Crisis and Suicide Prevention Hotline and website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The contact information is on screen. Also, Military OneSource provides up to 12 counseling sessions free of charge for soldiers and their families with a local physician, and it is completely confidential to the chain of command.
Hi, I'm Robert Breck, Command Sergeant Major of the Military Intelligence Readiness Command. I want to take a few moments to share with you my thoughts and also a personal story. First, I want to talk about this card that hopefully everyone's received. It's the ACE card that has been given out. The ACE stands for Ask, Care, and Escort. These are very vital and very important to saving lives. What I want to talk to you about is an incident that happened to one of my subordinates, Sergeant Robert Harpster. In May of 1992, Robert and I went to airborne school together. During airborne school, I went to visit him to see how things were going. At that time, he was writing inside of his journal. Closed up his journal. We sat and talked for a while, talked about his family and some of the things that were going on. I knew at the time that he had some issues and was struggling in the home. Didn't make anything out of that or the journal writing, and went back and we finished jump school. The morning after we come back home after jump school, I'd gotten a phone call that Sergeant Robert Harpster had committed suicide. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I couldn't understand why or how come or why didn't he call and talk to somebody. A few weeks after his funeral, his wife called me up and asked me if I could stop by the house. She had his journal, and inside was reading about how if things didn't work out between him and her, that he was going to kill himself. After reading parts of that journal and realizing that the night that I sat there and was talking to Robert, he was actually writing this information down. That made it all seem surreal to me. So what I'm asking you to do is, if you see or know of somebody, ask them. Ask them that critical question of, are you thinking of killing yourself? Pay attention to their answer and their body language and how they're feeling. You know your friends better than anybody else. Care enough about your buddy, and then escort them to somebody that can give them the help that they need. And don't forget, there's Army OneSource is also a great place to get help. So do you and your friends and your battle buddies favors and care about them. Talk to them. If you know something's not right and they're acting differently, take the time to care about them and to escort them and to ask them that critical question, are you thinking about killing yourself? It can and will save someone's life if you do that, I promise you. I wish I had done that. Please take care of each other. Thank you.
Soldiers, families, civilians, and retirees, I thank you for your service to the nation and each other. Please join with me in helping prevent Army suicides.